Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to understanding the most impactful insights from the information you need to know.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're diving deep into a topic that's genuinely, reshaping our world. The profound impact of artificial intelligence on higher education.
Yeah, it's huge.
And this isn't merely about integrating some new software. It's really about a fundamental reimagining of how we learn, how we teach, and how we even create knowledge itself.
And what's particularly interesting about our core source material for this deep dive is that it sort of stands as a testament to this very transformation.
How so?
Well, we're drawing from a comprehensive guide exploring how AI is reshaping academic practices. But what makes this book unique is that it was written, in close collaboration with Generative AI.
Really? With the AI?
Yeah, engaged as a thoughtful co-creator. It showcases what they call a faculty-first perspective, championing empowerment, not replacement.
Okay, that's fascinating in itself. So our mission today is to unearth the most important insights, the practical applications from this material, helping you quickly grasp what's essential for navigating this AI era in academia.
Right.
Because as the source makes crystal clear, the shift to integrate AI isn't just a suggestion. It's explicitly stated as not optional.
Mm-hmm. Pretty stark language.
Yeah, institutions that don't adapt risk what the source calls obsolescence.
Strong wording.
So when the source declares AI integration not optional, that's a pretty bold statement. What are the immediate, on-the-ground implications of that for higher ed? What does not optional truly translate to day-to-day?
Well, it means we absolutely have to gain a deep understanding of the capabilities and, just as importantly, the limitations of generative AI. Tools like GPT 4.5, GPT 4.0, these aren't just small updates. They're setting new global benchmarks. They're capable of, everything from drafting academic texts and analyzing complex math problems to generating personalized learning resources and even helping evaluate student work.
Wow.
Their increasing fluency and adaptability really mark a historic inflection point in how we approach teaching, learning, scholarship, pretty much everything.
That's a massive shift.
Yeah.
So while these tools are clearly capable, where should we as learners, as educators, where do we need to be cautious? What are the boundaries here?
That's the critical question. Generative AI offers amazing capabilities like summarizing dense material, translation, generating initial drafts, rephrasing for clarity, multilingual support, document processing.
Things that take a lot of time normally.
Exactly. They're incredibly valuable for brainstorming, for accelerating those initial drafting stages. However, you have to be acutely aware of their limitations.
Such as?
Things like factual inaccuracies, what people often call hallucinations.
Right.
Outputs might reflect training data imbalances, which, can lead to skewed or biased results. You'll also often find inconsistent or even missing citations.
Oh, that's a big one for academia.
Huge. And their reasoning can be limited, especially with really complex arguments. So critical human oversight is absolutely essential.
Okay.
The book consistently reinforces this. AI should be viewed as a complement to human educators and researchers. It's not a replacement.
Got it. Complement, not replacement.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so we know these tools are powerful, but need that human touch. Let's turn to the classroom itself. For anyone involved in learning or teaching, how is AI transforming, the very design of courses and how we create learning materials?
This is where it gets really interesting, I think. AI is enabling highly adaptive and personalized learning environments.
What does that actually look like?
Imagine systems that can dynamically adjust, say, the difficulty of content, the pacing of lessons, even the way material is presented, all based on your real-time performance data.
So it adapts to the individual student.
Precisely. And AI tutors, virtual assistants. They're already providing instant feedback, scaffolded support. It makes instruction potentially far more inclusive and responsive to individual needs than we've ever managed before.
That really could be a game changer for student engagement. Can you give a concrete example? Can AI help with something as fundamental and often time-consuming as building a syllabus?
Absolutely. The source has this compelling example of using ChatGPT to generate a comprehensive syllabus for an undergraduate humanities course. I think it was Introduction to English Literature, from Chaucer to Modernism.
A classic.
Right. And it can include everything. The course description, measurable learning objectives aligned with Bloom's taxonomy, that classic framework for educational goals.
Remembering, understanding, applying. all the way up to creating.
Exactly. A weekly outline of topics and readings, assessment methods, required texts, recommended texts, all formatted nicely in APA style. It just dramatically streamlines that whole planning process.
That alone would save instructors hours. And beyond the syllabus, what about the actual lesson content? Especially in tricky areas, like quantitative subjects where precision is just paramount.
Yeah, Gen AI tools streamline lesson planning and content creation across the board, really. For text-based stuff, you've got tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, Grammarly, Elicit, Quillbot. They can significantly enhance quality, academic tone, even help structure literature reviews.
Okay.
And for visual content, think DALL-E, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion. They can rapidly produce diagrams, concept maps, making abstract ideas, especially in STEM fields, much more accessible, more digestible.
So breaking down complex ideas visually.
Exactly. And in quantitative courses specifically, AI can generate structured lesson plans, provide worked examples with step-by-step solutions, create scaffolded practice problems.
Step-by-step is key there.
It really is. The source, for instance, gives an example of AI solving a quadratic function, showing both algebraic and calculus methods, including the graph.
Wow.
It also generates integral calculus practice problems, polynomials, logarithmic, exponential functions with those step-by-step solutions. It's like having an endless supply of tailored practice material.
Okay, but given that power, what happens when the AI gets it wrong? Which it sometimes does, right? Does human oversight remain absolutely critical, or can we start trusting it more in these complex areas?
That's where it gets nuanced. What truly stands out is a case study in the source about a human-AI collaboration on a math problem. It involved calculating delivery routes on a city grid.
Okay, like a word problem.
Yeah. The AI initially misread the coordinates, which led to an incorrect answer 16 blocks.
Oops.
Right. But here's the crucial part. When the user provided the corrected coordinates, the AI immediately recalculated and gave the correct answer 20 blocks.
Ah, so it learned from the correction.
Instantly. This really highlights AI's responsiveness to feedback, but also, crucially, the absolutely indispensable role of human critical examination in ensuring accuracy and, guiding the AI towards the right output. We still need to be the check.
Makes sense. So if AI is this responsive and adaptable, how can we leverage that to make our own workflows academic, professional, more efficient, more tailored?
Well, it means you can leverage things like custom GPTs. These are essentially task-specific AI assistants you can build or use.
Tailored AIs.
Exactly. For quantitative courses, for example, you could have a quantitative course planner GPT. It generates, say, 1-hour lesson plan objectives, key concepts, worked examples, a short quiz, all maintaining that formal academic tone. This promotes tremendous consistency and scalability in developing content. It frees up educators to focus more on the deeper pedagogical engagement, the human interaction.
Okay, let's shift gears slightly.
Yeah.
Moving beyond course design into really the heart of scholarly work, academic writing and publication. How is AI changing the landscape of authorship itself, from like the first draft all the way to getting published?
It's having a profound effect. Generative AI can really assist in those intellectually demanding initial phases, things like topic exploration, literature discovery.
The stuff that can feel overwhelming at the start.
Totally. It can suggest related concepts, help refine research questions, summarize key works. And what's more, these deep research modes in tools like ChatGPT Pro, Perplexity Pro, Elicit, they can even cross-reference citations against academic databases.
Oh, checking citations. That's huge.
Yeah, significantly improving citation accuracy and saving just countless hours of tedious work.
That is a significant leap. Can it actually help draft the core sections of a paper, though? Or is it still more of a research assistant?
No, it absolutely can help draft. For instance, the source compares how ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity summarize a research abstract for a non-specialist policy audience. Target, 100 words.
How did they do?
ChatGPT produced the most polished output. Gemini was clear, well-structured. Perplexity was very comprehensive. Claude, interestingly, made very few edits in that specific test.
Oh, different tools, different strengths.
Exactly. It shows the variability, but it clearly highlights AI's growing capacity to support things like science communication, policy translation, getting research out there.
What about the methodology section? That's often very standardized.
Right. AI can draft those descriptions with standardized formatting and terminology if you give it explicit parameters. The source shows examples for qualitative interview designs, quantitative analysis with SPSS syntax, even survey-based designs.
Like creating survey questions.
Yeah, like
Man.
generating Likert scale items, those strongly agree to strongly disagree scales for concepts like perceived benefits of AI or ethical confidence in AI use. And then it can help refine them for, say, consistent positive framing.
Okay.
But the key takeaway here is that AI functions as a dialogic partner. It requires the human researcher to constantly refine the prompts, ask better questions, and critically verify everything it produces.
So it's a back and forth. And how about the later stages? Responding to peer review, getting the work disseminated?
It can support that too. Submission prep, like formatting to specific journal guidelines, notoriously tricky sometimes.
Tell me about it.
Yeah. And it can help authors draft professional, constructive replies to reviewer comments, which, let's be honest, can be a challenging task emotionally and intellectually.
Definitely.
It can also assist with dissemination, drafting lay summaries, social media posts, outreach emails for broader communication of findings. But, and this is crucial, authors retain full responsibility. Accuracy, coherence, ethical conduct, that all still rests with the human. AI is a tool, not a substitute for scholarly integrity.
That brings up a really critical point.
Yeah.
If students have access to these incredibly powerful AI tools, how do we possibly ensure academic integrity? How do we genuinely assess learning in a meaningful way now?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Generative AI fundamentally challenges traditional assessment methods, which, often presumed completely unaided individual work.
Right, the closed book exam model.
Exactly. The core shift, the source argues, must be from assessment of learning, just focused on the final product, to assessment for learning.
Assessment for learning. What does that mean in practice?
It means emphasizing the process over the product. It means encouraging transparency about tool use. And it means evaluating things like a student's judgment, their synthesis skills, their reflection, rather than just the mechanical output the AI might have helped produce.
Okay, so assessing higher order thinking. What are some concrete examples of these new sort of AI responsive assignment types that educators could actually use?
The book outlines 5 really interesting key types. First, AI critique essays.
Okay.
Students use AI to generate content like explain the causes of World War I, and then their job is to critically evaluate its accuracy, its depth, any biases, omissions.
So they're analyzing the AI's work.
Exactly. Second, AI usage portfolios or logs. Students meticulously document their interactions with AI, showing prompts, AI outputs, and crucially, how they accepted, modified, or rejected that content. It makes the learning process visible.
I like that. Transparency.
Third, human-AI collaborative reports. This submission clearly delineates who did what human versus AI, and the assessment focuses on the quality and thoughtfulness of that collaboration.
Interesting. Fourth.
Reverse engineering assignments. Here, the instructor provides AI-generated text, maybe something flawed, and the students have to identify weaknesses, reconstruct a stronger version, and justify their revisions. Again, critical analysis.
Okay, really turning it on its head. And fifth.
Multimodal translation projects. Students use AI to translate concepts across different formats. So take a complex policy brief and transform it into, say, an infographic and a video script. It demonstrates understanding in new ways.
That's a fascinating range of approaches, moving way beyond the traditional essay. What about grading itself? Can AI help teachers with the burden of grading, especially with something like, say, handwritten work? That seems incredibly hard for a machine.
You'd think so, but yes, AI can play a really pivotal role here, especially in formative assessment, giving feedback along the way. There's a fascinating example in the source about AI evaluating handwritten math solutions.
Handwritten math.
Using multimodal AI that can process images and text, it can accurately recognize the handwriting, meticulously track the step-by-step logic, detect errors, provide specific diagnostic feedback like pinpointing incorrect discriminant values, and even assign a justified score.
That's incredible, the level of detail.
It really is. It enhances fairness, transparency, and just the scalability of providing detailed feedback. AI can also give formative feedback on draft essays, prompting students towards deeper literary analysis, for instance.
Okay, so AI can help with assessment. But this leads us back to integrity. How do we handle potential misuse?
Right. And the source frames this really interestingly. It argues it's not so much a crisis of cheating as it is a crisis of cultural lag.
Cultural lag.
Yeah, meaning our traditional policies, our culture around authorship just haven't caught up with the realities of digital tools and collaboration. We need a more nuanced, forward-thinking approach.
So what does that nuanced approach to integrity actually look like in practice, beyond just trying to detect and punish?
It means moving beyond a purely punitive stance towards actively promoting transparency and ethical engagement. The source discusses different behavioral profiles of AI users.
Sure.
You've got instrumental users, they're mainly seeking shortcuts, maybe copy-pasting with minimal changes. Then exploratory users, they experiment with prompts for insight, treating AI more like a tutor or a thought partner.
Great.
And finally, reflective users. They critically integrate AI, they're highly conscious of authorship boundaries, rigorous verification.
So different levels of engagement.
Exactly. And educators need to design differentiated pathways to help scaffold students towards more effective and ethical AI engagement, depending on where they start. And clear institutional guidelines for disclosure are crucial, making it a routine scholarly practice, not something exceptional or punitive.
That makes a lot of sense. Shifting focus now, if we zoom out from the classroom to the bigger picture, how is AI integration transforming the entire university landscape? Not just individual courses, but the institution itself.
Well, the source is pretty blunt here. Institutions that resist AI integration face significant risks.
Like obsolescence, as you mentioned earlier.
Exactly. Declining student engagement, erosion of credibility because of outdated curricula, outdated assessment methods. Proactive engagement isn't just an option anymore. It's essential for preparing both students and educators for an AI-mediated world that, frankly, is already here.
So if universities want to actually lead this transformation, not just react, what are the absolutely critical areas they need to focus on?
Strategic leadership really involves several key areas. First, faculty development.
Training the trainers.
Absolutely. Continuous professional development for instructors on AI capabilities, limitations, how to engineer good prompts, ethical oversight, all of it. Second, curriculum redesign. Actively integrating AI tools into teaching, learning, assessment practices across all disciplines.
Not just in computer science.
Not at all. Across the board. Third, AI-powered administrative efficiency. Automating those repetitive tasks, course scheduling, enrollment management, to free up faculty time for more personalized instruction, mentoring, the human stuff.
Right.
And critically, institutional policies and governance. Developing clear frameworks for transparent, equitable, pedagogically sound AI use. That includes disclosure requirements, data privacy compliance, the whole regulatory piece.
Sounds like a massive undertaking.
It is. Ultimately, the source argues it's about cultivating a culture of ethical innovation, moving beyond just compliance to shared values that uphold human judgment, educational purpose, creating what they call deliberative spaces for faculty and students to explore AI ethics collaboratively.
Deliberative spaces, I like that phrasing. And one thing that seems really compelling here is this idea you touched on earlier, AI tools being available basically anywhere. How does that boundless accessibility change the game for academic work?
Yeah, that's a defining feature of this era, isn't it? The extraordinary accessibility and flexibility of these tools. They run across desktops, laptops, tablets, smartphones.
Pretty much any device.
Right, and this dissolves that historical distinction where serious content creation was often confined to a desktop computer. Now, tasks like drafting scholarly texts, doing literature reviews, generating lesson plans, you can do them from virtually any device, anywhere.
That really untethers scholarly work.
It does. It enhances productivity, mobility, and it's fundamentally redefining the very nature of scholarly activity itself.
Okay, so we've taken a really deep dive today into the profound impact of generative AI on higher education. We've explored everything from, designing a syllabus with AI help to completely rethinking academic integrity and transforming institutional policies.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground.
And it seems abundantly clear that AI isn't just some passing trend. It's an irreversible evolution that really demands our thoughtful, proactive engagement.
I think what's truly insightful here from the source material is that AI is kind of repositioning knowledge itself as a dynamic dialogue, and learning becomes this continuous co-evolving relationship.
Co-evolving.
Yeah. It's a powerful catalyst. It empowers you, the learner, the educator, the researcher, to gain knowledge more efficiently, to enhance your work with tools we couldn't have imagined just a few years ago, and to critically engage with complex information in ways never before possible.
So wrapping this up, what does it all mean for you, the listener?
Yeah.
I think it means embracing this concept the source mentioned, perpetual becoming.
perpetual becoming.
Yeah, the idea that education isn't just K-12 or a 4-year degree. It's lifelong, it's life-wide, it's life-deep. You're not just a passive consumer of knowledge anymore. You're an active co-creator, constantly adapting, reflecting, engaging in a world that's increasingly shaped by these intelligent systems.
It's a partnership in a way.
Exactly. The journey of learning, understanding, contributing in this AI-mediated landscape, it really feels like it's just beginning, and that the most exciting discoveries, the biggest transformations, are probably still ahead of us.